Hello, guys. Welcome to the first CineShow Podcast of 2026. Been a while.
That's a weird way of saying the year. 2026. But you just say 2026.
No,
Like the kids would. 2000. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. Well, sorry. 2026, and then that's why I'm wearing this, because we never got to do a Christmas one. So I'm wearing this because I
apologise.
I got it ready for that. So you'll have to just put up with it. Right, so today we are doing it a little bit differently just to get the ball rolling on the new podcast for the year. We're going to do top 10 of 2025.
2025.
Yeah.
Kids.
Our top 10. How we're going to do this, we haven't discussed it, so...
Well, my thinking was thus. We will take it in turns. We will count down from 10 to number 1, number 1 being our favourite of 2025 or 2025. So one of us will go first, 10, 10, 9, 9, 8, 8, and so on and so forth. We will not reveal if the other person has said something that's on their list until we reveal it our very selves that it is on our list.
It's stressing me out. Okay, go on then. Yeah.
They're the rules.
So who goes first, though?
Well, I don't think it really matters. Do you want to flip a pen? You
then. Oh, me then, is it? Okay, so we're getting straight into it. Anyway, 2025 was actually, in retrospect, quite a good year for film. It wasn't the best. It certainly wasn't the best. But post-COVID, there's been worse years.
Yes.
So when I actually did this list, I was the same. I was like, oh, God. And then I actually went through it. I was like, actually, there's 10 where I was not thinking there was going to be sort of 10. I actually got to about 13 and scratched a couple. There will be one special mention.
Well, I think at the end we could have a special mention for a few that didn't quite make the list.
Yeah, so...
We've also had a couple of people comment on their favourites, which I'll read at the end of our lists.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I think some might agree, some might not. But yeah, so I actually felt a bit better about it. And then that led me on to looking at what was coming out this year, which I was like... That looks quite favourable as well. So I feel like there is a little bit of, since COVID, I know Maverick give it the shot in the arm, but it never exactly ran off from there, did it? So, yeah, I actually come away quite positive when I was doing this. So, we're going straight into
Let's have your number 10.
Right, my number 10 is The Smashing Machine.
I didn't see The Smashing Machine.
Right, okay, that's why it's not in your 10.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, we should say as well, we only have 2 minutes per film.
What to talk about then?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Start the clock. I don't even think I'll need that, by the way.
No.
So, especially for The Smashing Machine. So, I mean, to recap, because I've already done a review on this, I think, in retrospect, I like this film more now than I did when I very first watched it, because I think I had different expectations of what I was going to see. It is a biopic, so, I don't really know what you can expect from a biopic if it's already pre-known sort of thing. But when I look back at it now, I just think, as it goes, it's particularly for his performance, it is very central around his performance. I just think it was one of the nicest acting surprises of the year and made me start thinking, he can do a job here. And it made me also start really looking forward to the new Scorsese film with him in it, where he plays I'm assuming he's playing the gangster, gangster from Hawaii or something. Again, it's based on a true story. But when that was first announced before I'd seen this, and I just wasn't, my head just wasn't taking it in. The Rock, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Martin Scorsese now fully makes sense because of this film. So there's many better biopics out there, but as the year goes, it was definitely up there, and a film that I'd go watch again, but it's more just centred around his performance. His performance was, when I think about it afterwards, fantastic.
Right. Well, I am going to watch it as soon as it appears on some kind of streaming platform.
I think it is already, I'm not sure. Go on.
My number 10 is also a biopic. Mine is Springsteen, Deliver Us From Evil, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Not Deliver Us From Evil.
Like that?
I kind of did, and it's grown on me since.
Okay.
Probably for the similar reasons. So, short period of Springsteen's life.
That's crazy.
The writing of Nebraska album.
Okay, yeah.
goes through his kind of dip in mental health. The problem with it was, when I watched it, is that there aren't many dramatic peaks. It's quite level all the way through, but then on reflection, I remember saying in the review, I quite liked the fact it was so relaxing to watch.
Did you have you watched it again?
I haven't watched it again.
Okay, because
It will be one I buy. It's not available to buy yet, as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
Probably one I buy.
Not to put in on your little mini review here.
No,
I
do.
probably haven't rushed to watch it based off of your assessment of it.
It was lukewarm. I think it was a 3.5, if I remember.
Yeah, that's another thing on the star system. I actually sat there thinking these are probably not in the order.
Yeah, mine aren't either.
Mind.
Mine aren't either.
But yeah, okay. So then
that's my number 10.
That's good then, because that makes me think. You know what? If I'm got nothing to watch on a Sunday, I'll probably be more inclined to spend 2 hours on it. Okay, my number 9 is Fantastic Four. So I got.
I did not know.
I can get Yoda in here. So why it's in my top 10 of the year is it kind of gave the superhero fatigue a bit of a shake.
Yeah.
Because I feel like look, Superman was not even close for me. It was just such a disjointed mess. So I just feel like with all the way for every Superman that comes out, you're just cracking the bridge more and more and more until eventually people just do not want to see another one. Now I'm sure Doomsday is going to rectify that because they've obviously took a gamble on new cast, hasn't worked out, and then they've just gone back and they're hoping on the old cast. But this was quite refreshing.
I found it refreshing in the fact that it wasn't linked to anything else.
Yeah.
It was a standalone film.
Yeah, well,
apart from the very end.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if we can say spoilers now. Probably can. But I just thought the look of it, the CG wasn't so particular. It's quite CG heavy. But I just didn't think that the CG was too jarring either. Storyline was good. Performances was good. Really enjoyable. And if there was a sequel, which I'm assuming there's going to be, I would watch it. So that's in my top.
Well, I can tell you that it didn't make my list.
Oh, okay.
And neither did Superman, but it didn't make either of our lists by the sounds of it.
Okay, no, Superman
So
did not.
Superman was close-ish. Honourable mention at the end, maybe. So my number 9 is A Real Pain. The Jesse Eisenberg directed, Jesse Eisenberg, Kieran Culkin.
Great film.
Which I really enjoyed because I like a talkie. I like a character-driven talkie. 2 estranged brothers who go looking for their grandma's, who's passed away, grandma's home in Poland.
Yep.
And it's really just following their journey, and kind of they start together, they come apart. Spoilers, the kind of things kind of get rectified towards the end, but some really good kind of situational stuff that they're in. Just a really good watch, really well acted. Really enjoyed that.
Yeah, excellent.
It'll be one for the Blu-ray shelf.
Yes. Amazing.
That's my number 9.
My number 8 is A Real Pain.
Oh, no way!
Yeah. So that's why I let you just say the plot, so I don't have to review this one. So A Real Pain represents to me going back to the mid-90s to early 2000s spec script films like your Good Will Hunting, things like that. Things that was original films that went into the stratosphere with very low budget, just very performance centralized. And again, I think I'm starting to get little glimmers of hope of what's going to come forward, especially with all the doom and gloom about Netflix taking over the world. But we do want to be on Netflix, so I'll just be really.
We would love to be on Netflix.
We love Netflix. Take over our
any
world.
kind of flicks, any kind of net.
Should probably edit that out. But basically, in the same way that you've got films that are busting through fatigue, this is doing the opposite. It's like almost like the spec script was, for me, the feel-good spec script. I think the last one I can think of off the top of my head, what really sort of hit me in that way was As Good as It Gets. Remember Jack Nicholson? Completely different theme. but it's that that original piece. What's just marry that with really heavy and fantastic central performances. That you don't really need all the shit and trims, all the things over the top of it. And it's definitely a film I would go back and watch again. I think it kind of suffered from social media. Kind of like there was a lot of backlash of why it was getting in the awards season and stuff like that. But I don't really know where that was. I don't know why we're in that sort of thing now where people.
We did have a period, didn't we? They used to call it was it Mumblecore? They used to call it. It was a group of films that were very much like that around kind of the late 90s, 2000s. Very kind of low key, character driven stuff. I can't think of any of the top of my head, but and then that kind of went away. And this is kind of almost like a revival of that kind of.
It went away because they don't make money in the cinema.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And to an extent, I've already had this discussion with you where I kind of partially, it's a horrible thing for somebody to say who's trying to make film and getting out there to make film, but I do think people have I do understand people having more of a choice on going to the cinema to watch a more personal, talky film, because whilst every single film can be a joint experience, it's not as much as a shared experience as, say, you know, a Marvel film where you've been attached to it for so long, or like going off films, Stranger Things recently with the finale there, how much people are invested in it. It made sense that they in America that they put that on the cinema, because you can see like the reactions to it. That is a massive shared experience, and I'm not saying films like A Real Pain can't be a shared experience in the cinema. That's not what I'm saying. And also, it's always nice to go and watch it at the cinema with your partner and forget about everybody else.
There is something about the shared silence.
Yeah.
I think in a cinema you can tell whether people are enjoying a film by the silence.
Yeah.
Once you start seeing the phones blinking and people's watches going off and you hear somebody chuntering and rattling their food and all the rest of it, once you get that dead silence, that often to me means that people are in and enjoying something.
So like, I don't want to be counterproductive because everybody, cinema needs more than a shot in the arm at the minute. But I just feel like I can kind of understand why you Marvels and things. People are paying £10 a ticket to go and see Marvel over something like A Real Pain or whatever. I don't think you should really tier your films based on the content, but maybe a smaller ticket price would do that. You know what I mean? You know when they do like 4DX, 3D. The film itself is more of an experience,
non-action film rate.
Yeah, something like that.
Whimsical drama.
Yeah, it sounds stupid, but you might get more bums on seats. I don't know. Maybe I'm just absolutely waffling, but I just feel like A Real Pain was just a nice nod to that era where it didn't just get like the critics' acclaim and it did the awards as a ceremony. It actually did a couple of fair numbers at the cinema as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it sort of leaped that gap again. Yeah. Sorry, go for it. So your number 8.
So that was your number 9. My number 8 is The Life of Chuck. Now I saw this. I don't know whether I mentioned it in other stuff I'd watched.
Loki, Matey Boy. What's his name?
Tom Hiddleston. Now when I saw this, I didn't come out thinking it was that great. However, it's one of those that you kind of reflect on. It's a very strange film. It wouldn't be for everybody. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, he's done a lot of Netflix TV shows. He did The House of Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Blythe Manor, a great show called Midnight Mass around vampires. Very much focused on character. So this is basically the life of Chuck.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, and it's a funny structure. So it kind of starts with kind of an end of the world, kind of half hour, 45-minute section. Then we've got Chuck himself in the mid with his Tom Hiddleston bit, which is the shortest of the 3 sections. You'll have seen the trailer where he does his random dance in the town square and stuff, which is really good. And then the last section is Chuck as a young boy. It didn't hit the landing on finish wise for me. It was a little bit underwhelming, but then when I've thought about it, maybe it did. So it's one of those I need to watch again. And the fact that I'm thinking about it, and how it made me feel at the time raises its score, raises its
There's a
chart
few of them
position.
in both of our things by the sounds of it.
The first part's really good. I really enjoyed the first chunk. It's very strange. There's two characters, and we've been finding out that the end of the world is coming, and there's all these kind of illuminated signs and things thanking Chuck for his life. It's ultimately about the fact that any life means something. So even what seems to be the most mundane can be having a massive impact on people around them, and like if a butterfly flaps its wings type thing.
Effect,
That's the kind of the essence of it.
Okay.
But I would definitely recommend people watch it. It might not be for everybody, but kind of stick with it. And then Mark Hamill's in it as well. He plays Chuck's. I think it's his grandfather that's took him in.
So Luke's taken Obi-Wan's mantle in.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so Life of Chuck is my number 8.
Love it. I haven't seen it, but it has been kind of in my radar.
Yeah, I think you'd like it.
So 7 for me is Warfare.
Oh.
Did you go back and watch it, or did you see it in the end?
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, what did you think?
Yes.
Because I think at the time you hadn't seen it. Right, so...
I'm being sheepish.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so
Didn't see it.
Warfare,
Enjoyed it very much.
for me, I think I'll leave this, based off your reaction, I'll leave
I think
this
it was
quite
your
short.
first, one of the first ones you
It was,
reviewed.
really early doors. I believe A Real Pain was as well. I think we'd both seen it at the time. But Warfare, for me, within 2025 anyway, it was probably the best military war army film out there. And I think I said more about this from a
sound design,
from a film, from a production point of view. It was a great film and the performances was great, but that wouldn't have been enough for me to have put this in this top 10. If it wasn't for the production, like you say, the sound design, the effects, the director, the photography. It just elevated it out of what I felt to be quite it's a really horrible thing to say because it actually happened. But they didn't exactly... I don't feel like they took any creative license with it. So it felt more like a documentary. I think I said this at the time. So it was like, if it didn't happen, they didn't add it. Which is going to sound horrible because it was horrific. But obviously, a lot of war films, they take that creative license to make it a bit more digestible to the thing. So that alone wouldn't have made it in its top 10. But from a production point of view, I thought it was made unbelievably well.
There was the bit at the end as well that I particularly liked, where when the credits are rolling, where it showed the actual Marines that were involved with the film crews going through almost like each manoeuvre of where they were and where they were placed in the building and all that kind of stuff. I really enjoyed it.
That's my 7.
That's your 7. My number 7 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Didn't you absolutely hate that?
4 stars I gave it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, my memory is playing tricks on me there because
So-
I thought you panned it.
So, if it was half an hour shorter, it would be higher up the list.
Okay.
It's just too damn long. Damn long. But there are elements of it that I still love. I still love the fact that Tom Cruise just balls out to entertain. It's his life's mission to entertain people and to do whatever he can himself, practically. I mean, I think with the Mission Impossible films, you start to take stuff for granted. But then when you watch something like Dead Reckoning and you're watching the scene at the end with the planes flying around and him hanging off and swinging about, in itself is a 15-20 minute scene. Is epic, but it kind of gets swallows up in that kind of, well, we kind of expect it's going to be like that, and the rest of it wasn't quite as good. But there are some really good elements. I watched it again. I actually enjoyed the first part more than before. I found the first part a little bit too frantic, but it played out better the second time. I liked some of the extra characters they put in, Nick Offerman being one of them. I like that Kendrick's, the character Kendrick, I think, has been back in the last 2. I like the callbacks to the previous films.
I'm sure you said you disliked that.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is all in that kind of that first chunk.
All right, okay.
And I kind of like. I don't know. Maybe I was just feeling a bit more nostalgic when I watched it the second time.
So you have seen it twice.
I've seen it twice.
Because I'm starting to feel a bit like manipulated because I feel ashamed that I've probably allowed myself not to watch that again based off your review. And I should
But
never do that.
It was
I
definitely,
should never do
It was
that.
definitely 4 stars.
Because sometimes you don't know what you're talking about.
4 stars were there. 4 stars were definitely 4 stars.
Did he put 4 stars, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly thought...
I just complained a lot about being long. And
yeah,
the first
it
bit
never
was
made
a
my
bit
top
confusing.
10, nor did it make my mentions, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I didn't go out there
It's not an
to grab
unenjoyable...
it.
You couldn't in any way say it's unenjoyable.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a good
Put that on the
film.
list, we'll watch that later on.
It's a good film. It's just too damn long.
Right, okay.
He's
Yeah,
half
no,
an hour.
few-
There's a 2-hour action epic in there, but unfortunately, it's on for nearly 3 hours.
Yeah, I think a lot of films do that sometimes.
What was the one I watched the other day? As an aside, it didn't make the list. I'm hoping it didn't make yours. Nuremberg. I watched Nuremberg.
Never seen it.
Because it's popped up on a
Seen the
stream.
trailer.
I didn't see it at the cinema. Really disappointing.
Oh, really?
Too long again, about 2.5 hours. But we're talking about dialogue in a real pain. So Nuremberg, the whole thing is based around the Nazi war trial, Nuremberg trials.
Well, believe it or not, I've recently just watched an amazing Netflix, I think it's Netflix, documentary about the actual Nuremberg, what was going on, and that was unbelievable.
Well, this should have been crackerjack dialogue, back and forth, feel-good men stuff. You know, like Feel-Good Men at the end with Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise. It's almost like an action film, the way they're going at each other. This is just completely flat. So, yeah, another film that was way too long and would have probably been better, a bit shorter, a bit snappier.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, no, it's there. Mission Impossible's there. It was 7, and I gave it 4 out of 5 when I first reviewed it.
Okay.
I was just ultimately disappointed because I love the Mission Impossible films.
Yeah.
So I went in to see it fully hyped up, and it was just a bit
But I
disappointing.
think I said to you at the time,
round.
I haven't actually seen the one previous to that as well.
Yeah.
I'd kind of got a bit fatigued.
Well, you could
with
do
it.
with seeing the one previous.
Yeah,
as well,
so I
right?
think I might go and watch the pair. Okay, so my number 6 is Predator Badlands. Yeah, I already know that yours is going to be yours is probably going to be way higher than mine as well. So Badlands, only recently watched it, believe it or not, and it was as good a popcorn film as you're going to get. I actually, if there's one bit of a critique I've got for it, I think the purists might have a bit of an issue with how far they're pulling the elastic band back.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But again, lots of special effects, but it's not. They've taken time to actually put a story in there, and the performances are great as well. So, is it Elle Fanning?
Yes.
Yeah, probably the best I've ever seen her. I think she's really good. Even
And
though
there's only
she's
half
playing
of
a
her as
robot.
well.
Yeah, but really enjoyed it, and it's as good a popcorn film as you can watch. Whilst I'm saying there's a story in there, it's also it's not going to get away from you at any point. You know what I mean? It is something that you can just sort of sit back and digest. But I'm going to leave that quite short because I've got a feeling that you've got some sort of.
Well, you may not want to leave it short because I am of a very different opinion. And it didn't make my list.
Oh, really? I'm quite surprised.
The first thing so I went to the cinema to see it.
Because I thought the ending was also quite...
But the first thing that got me was, what kind of world are we living in where a 12-year-old can now go and watch a Predator film?
Yeah.
So that's kind of tapping into what you were saying about how they're stretching it just too far. I can't remember I think Alien versus Predator might have been a 12. There was Alien versus Predator Requiem, which was quite gory, which wasn't a 12, I don't think.
No.
But anyway, the good news is for all 12-year-olds out there, you can now go and watch a Predator film, which to me in some way seems wrong.
Mad, yeah.
The other issues I had with it were, which is better grammar, it was very contrived. So the bits where, oh look, there's razor grass. I wonder where that will play again. Look at this bug. If you touch it, it explodes like a hand grenade.
Yes.
Well,
you know what I said about purists are gonna hate it because you are kind of effectively the same way I didn't.
A flower that happens to blow out some gas that sends you to sleep.
So for the reasons you're saying there is the reasons I didn't like Alien the series because it's kind of like.
Well, that's why I'm surprised that you like this.
It's like flowers and thingies on around a predator, which used to be one of the most terrifying entities ever put on the screen. the reason it's made my list for this year is that there aren't many films where it feels like a comic. It feels like a comic book. And a lot of comic books are very contrived like that. There's a lot of dialogue in there that if you directly relate that to screen, it just won't make it. You're just like, what the hell is this? It's not that bad dialogue-wise, but it certainly is skirting the comic book, almost like not canon, which it isn't effectively canon, but it's not. I don't think it's even trying to be. So it's like it's just another offering, and for that reason, that's why I'm allowing it. Whereas with Aliens, it clearly wants to be part of the franchise.
Yeah, I think I would have allowed it if it was just a better film.
Right.
Because the bit spoilers if you've not seen Road to Badlands, it was as soon as that little cute thing turns up, we don't need a cute thing in a Proza film, but as soon as the little cute thing turns up, it was obvious that was the baby, one of the big thing that had been sent to hunt. I like the beginning. I love that whole battle between the brothers and the dad and all that stuff. But then it was the razor grass that tipped me. But then I thought I did think it was really predictable, and I can predict exactly what the next one's going to be.
Yeah, but the ending was great. I thought it was good.
but didn't the ending? Spoilers if you've not seen it. We can't really do too many spoilers in a top 10, can we? We can't get people to fast forward.
But
anyway, you can tell what's going to happen in the next one.
To shorten mine up, the reason it made mine was...
It would have made an 11.
Right, okay.
I'm not saying I hated it.
Right, okay.
I just was very disappointed.
Yeah, I can't say I was disappointed. I can't say, if you put it up against other films...
Maybe a 12.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yeah,
we've been told by our glamorous assistant that we've gone on too long.
So you're even talking about a film that's not in your top 10.
So what number was that of yours?
That was 6.
My number 6, and I don't think you'll like this from your review that you originally gave, is the Phoenician Scheme.
Phoenician Scheme?
Or that.
Yeah.
either one. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
But our producer fell asleep.
Well, there we go. That's a sign of good taste.
Snored.
I'm a sucker for a Wes Anderson eccentric little.
Normally am I.
Bit of fun.
And it looks beautiful.
And I'd laughed several times.
Okay.
I thought Benicio del Toro was absolutely superb. I thought everybody in it was superb, particularly.
Yeah, but then it's a Wes Anderson.
Is it Michael Cera?
Yeah.
I thought he was great. I love him and stuff anyway.
Yeah. I didn't give it a shit score.
No, I don't think you did, but I don't think you were overly favourable.
It wouldn't have been in my top 10 of the year.
I mean, this is why it's good to have 2 reviewers on the same podcast.
I think what my initial thing of it was, even for a Wes Anderson, I don't think there was any real. It seemed to just go by.
It was safe. It was safe Wes. It was very much Wes Anderson.
I wasn't like, let me have a look at that. I was very much just like watching it go by.
I thought every frame was just like a little puzzle scene with stuff going off in the background.
I think that was my biggest positive about it when I was doing the review, is that it looks, and it's Wes Anderson, like every single frame you could probably print out and put on your wall.
Yeah.
But
that was a very good description.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So, but basically, it went by, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think there was one or two moments I giggled, but as a Wes Anderson film, I didn't laugh anywhere near as much as you would a normal like Grand Budapest Hotel.
I think it's just so clever how he can make like a character who's sat like in the background, not doing anything, be hysterical, just from being there, just from random characters stood around and doing various things.
But that's all got to be done in like camera rehearsals.
Yeah.
But
and I love the way they talk, the dialogue. But then that's the same with all Wes Anderson.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think as even with Wes Anderson film goes, it wouldn't have been up there in my top 3 of his. So, okay, so number 5 for me was Weapons.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah. Good shout.
Only recently watched.
I'm glad you've seen it because you hadn't seen it. I saw it and reviewed it.
Yes. So I think it's not as good as Barbarians.
Okay.
Is it Barbarians?
Barbarian.
Lots of jumpy moments, and really creepy. I do like the layout of it. I love the way that the narrative has been fed to you in the portions. Really creepy, dark. Performances are unbelievable. I thought Josh Brolin and I think he's amazing. What's her name?
Julia Garner, I think.
She's unreal in it, and I find it weird that that's gone by.
And he was good as well, and I'm hoping he seems to have bounced back from Solo. He's got a funny name.
Yeah.
Aidan Edric.
Aidan Oldham.
Yes, Aldenrick, something like that.
Yeah, flower. Yeah, elderflower. Anyway.
Elderfloric.
He needed a win because I think he'd done quite a few films since that.
And the guy who was a drug addict as well. I don't know his name, but he was really. Well, everybody was really.
The performances was great, but then same with Barbarian. But I just found Barbarian a little bit scarier. But the woman who plays the aunt, I don't get how none of these have so far got any award nods.
But she was up for supporting actress, wasn't she, at the Grammys the other night?
The Grammys?
Not the Grammys. The
Golden Globes. Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I missed that one then. But so I mean, it was just again.
She was in Field of Dreams. Kevin Costner's wife in Field of Dreams.
Oh God!
I'm trying to think what else she was in, but that's definitely her in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did not make that connection. Yeah. That's unbelievable. Yeah, and I'm hearing there's a sequel centred around.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
So I'll definitely watch that. It's up there.
Okay, brilliant. What was that?
5.
My number 5 is, you're not going to agree with this, 28 Years Later. 28 years later. Watched twice. I do enjoy it. The second time, there seemed to be more action in than I remembered. I think I got caught up on a few different things of the first viewing. Second viewings are so important.
Yes.
But the first viewing, I think I got caught up on a few bits. I thought, I don't really like that. I don't really like the bit where he's brought in footage of other films to depict what's happened in the world and stuff and things like that. I thought, it's too clever for your own good. But watched it the second time and enjoyed it. And
I actually gave it a good mark.
Yeah, you did. It was the end.
I was disappointed. Yeah, I was disappointed with, and again, I think I'll go back and rescore that when we see Bone Temple, which I'm
going to see this week.
Comes out on Friday.
Comes out Wednesday.
Tomorrow.
Or today.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it comes out. So,
or the day before.
So I might as well say this now. 28 Years Later is my special mention.
Yes.
So it's 10.5.
That's 11. That's fine.
For me, I should have been left like, can't wait for the next one.
Yes.
Can't wait, and I wasn't left with that.
I was a bit. I kind of was.
Yeah.
Do you know if the second one being filmed with the iPhone? Because it's not him directing the second one, is it? He's on board, but he's not the director. I actually don't know. Looking at the trailer, it almost looks like it's not. A bit like, 28...
But then that's weird because they were shot back to back. So, I mean, there's nothing to say they can't swap...
Maybe it is.
There's nothing to say they can't swap gear halfway through.
It could well be. But with like 28 Days Later was shot on the old DV camera, and then 28 weeks later was just standard.
Well, iPhone, yeah. With all the trimmings on it. Yeah. But it gets a special mention because I love some of the set pieces. I told you, I absolutely loved the tension in that causeway scene. I thought that was unbelievable. I think, not that you always want action in your film, but I just don't think there was enough moments like that to make it a 28 years, 28 days.
There was probably more than I remember. There's this scene where they go into the barn, where they're being chased. There's the bit on the bus, the bit in the tunnel was better than I remember as well. And actually the ending, once kind of Ray Fiennes comes into it, that ending was not bigger, more dramatic than I remember it being. I remember thinking it just tapered off, but it has a little rise. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the next one this week.
Cillian Murphy's supposedly in this one, isn't he?
I don't know. He doesn't pop up in the trailer.
I think it's going to be surprising because, as far as I was aware, I saw.
It's very Jack O'Connell. Jack O'Connell's on the poster. He features heavily in the trailer. I
saw an interview with Cillian Murphy where he himself says that he's in the third. So Maybe it's setting up for an additional one. I don't know, but yeah.
So that was my number 5. At this point, let's just take a break while I blow my nose.
Blow your nose. Okay, so finishing this off then. My number 4 is The Ballad of Wallace Island.
I've not seen it.
Then you are missing out.
Yes,
It is by far and
understand
away
that I am.
the funniest film of 2005,
Yes.
from my point of view.
It's on my list, my top list of things to
So
watch.
I think it's Tim Key,
Yes.
guy who wrote it with the geezer from, I can't remember the other guy. The
It
guy
does a
who,
lot with Ricky Gervais, doesn't
Yes,
it? Extras and stuff.
but who does? Tim Key? Tim Key doesn't.
No,
does
the
he?
guy who's
Yeah, but
in it with him.
it's funny you should say that. Tim Key, his performance in this is very early Office, UK Office. He's like a likable. He plays almost like a likable. Not that David Brent wasn't unlikable. He did some pretty shitty stuff, but you kind of ended up feeling sorry for him in the end. This guy plays like a likable version of David Brent within the context of this. So if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it too much. But what I will say is, the script was so good. You can see that it's not just been thrown on the page. It has been taken on. They've taken a lot of care on that script, and it's one of the few scripts that, I think I said this to Alice, where it's one of the few scripts that you'd actually be laughing at when you read it. Whereas sometimes when you read scripts, as an actor, Alice will know, and even as a director or even a writer myself, I will write something funny in context, but it's the actor or the performance or something that makes the difference.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can look at something on the page and go, that's not that funny, and it will be made funny on the day by shots, edit, performance. This is, for a long time, I don't think I've seen a film with a script where I think I would actually just sit there and piss myself at this script on its own. Lovely performances. It kind of like goes back to, not necessarily, it's not an out and out rom-com, but it's a hark back to Four Weddings, the sort of 90s Brit rom-com. I think I've just made that up, but and it was definitely my comedy of 2025. Like I say, Tim Key's really great. Everybody's really good in it. And it's just a really nice set, and it reminds me of like that whole Hugh Grant sort of man who went up a hill, come down a mountain type thing. And it really gives you that feel. Again, I think we got a bit of fatigue with that. We started just get that, I think after the Bridget Joneses, everything after that just became the same. This does a really good job of taking you back there and does it really well. And it's a film that I know that I would have repeated viewings of, not just watch again.
I know I would like it.
Yeah. So get out to watch that one.
One for me to watch. Okay, my number 4 is, it's exciting stuff now. My number 4 is Sinners. I know this is one of your favourites as well. And in the Grammys,
the Golden
Globes, it won Best Score, which will please you because you are very fond of the score.
If it didn't, then someone needed.
Well, I can say I've now seen this 3 times.
Yeah, probably.
Once at the cinema, once watched again on my own, and once watched with my lady wife, who was known as Maxine, and she thoroughly enjoyed it as well.
Your lady
now,
wife.
the reason it's not higher on my list is that I do think there's some pacing issues possibly with that first half. I do kind of lose interest and just kind of say, get the place open, get the dancing started, enough of kind of getting it set up. I know there's periodic bits of kind of action in there and a bit of horror and that kind of stuff. I still think, I don't think it's overly scary, apart from the very first scene where Miles Caton runs into the church and you get those sudden, what would you call those, bursts of...
The smash cut.
Smash cuts, but make you kind of jump out your skin.
Or jump cut.
But however, I did like it more on rewatching, the ending more, sorry. I didn't quite get into. I mean, everyone must have seen Sinners by now. But anyway, there's bits at the end where you kind of think, will that really happen? Would they still be like that? But I found the ending more moving than I did on first watch.
Same.
The whole kind of music thing built in. My biggest problem with it is, and this is probably just me being thick, but having watched it 3 times, I still don't know which brother is which by the end. So those brothers at the beginning, one goes off to recruit and spread the word about the juke joint opening. The other one goes off, meets the lady that he's
one's got gold teeth and the other
in a
one
relationship.
hasn't.
I've never noticed the gold. I've never noticed the gold teeth.
Fair enough.
So at the end of it, for the life of me, I still can't work out. It's that bit. There's a bit in the middle where there's an adultery of situation occurs, and I think, oh, that must be that brother. But then at the end, the bit happens. I think, oh no, actually, that must have been the other brother. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's probably more me than the filmmaking, especially if you've noticed that quite obviously one of them's got gold teeth and one of them. They also wear different hats.
Pretty
but I
certain
still
one of them's got like a grill
from the hats.
One's got a grill on or something.
But it's great. The score's great, and I'll leave it now because you might want to say something about it at some point. Maybe. That's my number 4.
Right. Yeah, love Sinners. My number 3 is my scariest film that I saw, including Weapons, was Bring Her Back.
You did like this, and I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, so Sally Hawkins, again, awards how it's just gone by. I do not know. She is next level in this film. It's not like it's not your traditional scary film. There are some jumpy moments in it, but it's not your traditional scary film, like out and out horror. It's more scary in the old ways of like Misery, where something's building up to something and then somebody does something, you're like, oh no, that kind of like thing, and then it's really like off-putting, and it just makes you feel uncomfortable. And if a film can do that, it's doing its job. And not just gratuitously. It has got, even though the story is very out there, I'm gutted that you haven't seen it because I was going to talk about a bit in it.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, no, I just think, again, there are nice performances around here, but this is definitely a Sally Hawkins moment and movie. Very dark and very... The look of it seems very like almost like Seven-esque. Not as dark, not as high contrast, but certainly shadows and the way that it makes you feel in some of the scenes. Rain, there's a lot of scenes like that. Just puts you in that, and you almost feel like you're out there in the cold and stuff like that. So it did a great job of that, and it really uneased me. I found it really uneasy to watch, and if a film is that's what it's set out to do, whilst taking you on this journey, then it's done a great job. So yeah, 3.
I don't think that's available to buy yet either. I've not seen it on any streaming services. I don't think it's available to buy yet.
I just think the guys,
but it'll be one I'm definitely.
Philip Housis and the other dude's name. I think with that and Talk to Me, these guys are onto something, and I think you're gonna see you're gonna see something major in Hollywood out of them in the next 2 to 3 years.
Good. Well, my number 3 was your number. Can't remember. Warfare.
Okay.
I thoroughly enjoyed Warfare. The very definition of efficient filmmaking: tight, frenetic, exhilarating. I've run out of words that describe it.
Loud.
Louds. Yeah. Well shot. Well sound designed. If that's the term you would use. Sound designed.
Well sounded.
Great acting. Yeah, loved it. Really just did exactly what it was supposed to do. No fatty filling at all.
There was one thing I think I mentioned in the review. Looking back at it now, I think I had no business sort of like discrediting it for. It was one of the guy gets shot in the gut, and for a large portion of the film, he's just screaming in the background.
Yes.
Now, in the cinema, that was quite jarring.
Yeah.
But it happened.
Yeah.
The whole point is to put you there.
You're not just going to.
So
sit there
me
quietly.
just sitting there going, "Oh God, this is quite intense for me in this thing." Clearly, it would have been at the moment at the time as well. So I think that was not really a negative when I look back at it. It really just put you sort of in there, and I'm sure at the time, even though one of their guys was down, I'm sure there were still people in that moment going, "Oh God, just quiet," because people can hear us or whatever. But it was a long period of time. I think it was a good. I don't want to guess, but it was longer than you'd expect. Where there's just a guy, even when dialogue's going on, you just hear this guy moaning and crying in the background. But
all adds to the realism.
Yeah,
I've thought of another word: visceral.
Really?
Yes, I'm going to use that. Visceral.
Okay.
Spell it.
VISC.
I wouldn't know, so I can't say if you're right or wrong. Alice will know.
ERAL.
Alice is educated.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
It's got more letters than that. Not just VIL.
VISCERAL.
Okay.
You used to only hear a few letters that I was saying.
I think it sounds like it's got at least 10 letters. That's my number 3.
Cool. Okay.
Top 2.
My number 2 is One Battle After Another.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go on then.
So, it was an unbelievable film, and it's very hard to pick any flaws in it, really.
I like this because you've got me confused now about your top 10, but go on.
Yeah, so for me, it was the best film of last year. So it's going to sound really weird, what I'm going to say here, because I put it as number 2. But it's the best film of last year, as like start, middle and end. Performances, every single performance in it was Oscar-worthy, without a shadow of a doubt. And I think some people are going to win Oscars for it. Filmmaking was unbelievable. I love the fact that we've been thrown back into old style CineScope and stuff like that, and I hope that continues. I hope we starting to watch films that make you feel like you're watching the old 70s, Easy Rider and stuff like that, and stuff what scenes I'm on about on the roads and stuff like that. Funny, super funny, black comedy almost. And like I say, the performances are all-time. There's some all-timers in there. Weirdly, there's nothing wrong with Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in it, but it's not one of his best.
Yeah,
it's one of most people's best.
I think I said you kind of you don't forget about him, but he's not the character that you think of when you reflect on watching it.
Yeah, and whereas like sometimes Benicio del Toro, I mean, apart from the Phoenician Scheme, can sometimes be accused of sort of playing that, like in Usual Suspects, that sort of like, South American fast talking. Whilst he is kind of doing that here, he still is just carved out something within it. And I think Leonardo DiCaprio's definitely done that. But it's like I've said to you before, this thing that I think major A-listers have, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, they really have to do well now. Tom Hanks, they really have to do well now for you, when you look at that screen, for you to not say, that's Tom Cruise. That you have to, for you to say that's their character name. Yeah. They have to do so well. And I guess that's just about exposure. And I guess DiCaprio sort of suffers from that a little bit in this, and it's not his fault because his performance in it was better than most. I just think on his scale, it's not Wolf of Wall Street. You know what I mean? His performance. But everyone else is, that's the only thing I can give. And it's not really a negative. Yeah. It's just basically a victim of his own success. But yeah, I think it was a 10 out of 10 film. Yeah,
well, I remember we gave it 5 out of 5.
Yeah, and it was the best film of last year.
Yeah, which still doesn't make sense, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, my number 2 is, you've already mentioned it, Weapons.
Okay.
I absolutely loved Weapons. You'll find this hard to believe, or maybe you won't. I've watched it 4 times.
Wow.
Given it only came out towards the middle end of last year.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I love it. I love the whole structure of it. I love how it flows. I love remembering what's coming up.
Do you like Barbarian, though?
Yeah, I do like Barbarian. Yeah, yeah. I found this almost weirdly a bit more straightforward. I think in the review of this, I did say that at the end I was slightly disappointed there wasn't more to the ending than what transpires. I thought there'd be a bit more to it. but then that almost makes it just more fun in a sense. I think there are just some outstanding scenes. The couple in the kitchen with the actress who we mentioned earlier, when she first kind of uses don't say much because it's spoilers. But anyway, what transpires there is just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
And almost unwatchable. I love the way it ends. The whole kind of
the structures.
Can't really
so
say
good.
much about that again, but there's lots of kind of screaming and running about. Yeah, I really like it. Really like it. But you've already said loads about it, but yeah, it's my number 2. It's the one I was rushed out first to buy on a
you have bought it?
on physical version.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would, and I think it would make me go back and actually buy Barbarian as well. Another situation there. Who's the director? Another situation there where you're talking
Start
about
the music.
Start the music.
Carry on with what you were saying.
Another situation where you're talking about the Australian boys who are making the horrors out there. I think the next 2 to 3 years you're going to see like really high-end stuff. Not that these are not high-end, and I think they probably benefit from feeling a bit more raw and independent than...
Stop the music.
Go on.
Zach Cregger.
Yes, Cregger.
With a C,
yeah.
not a G.
Yeah, so I think he's done enough now to get major studio backing, which I will do. And in a way, I hope that doesn't send him off into the wrong direction. Like, I always give the reference of like the Matrix, when the first Matrix and the Wachowskis had to raise money and come up with ideas to do these shots. That independent, raw nature of a lot of the stuff made that probably my favourite action film of all time. And then the sequels, when all of a sudden they had money and they had deadlines, so they made the sequels in the same time as they made the first one, and they just threw money at the CGI. It just didn't do the same thing. I'd like to hope that they'll probably get bigger budgets and bigger names attached to their projects coming up. But I just hope they approach it in the same way that
and
they
still have
approach
the same freedom to
to
be creative. Yes. So that's my number 2 spots.
Cool.
So down to your number 1.
Okay, my number 1, because I haven't mentioned it, I'm surprised you don't.
Yes, I've worked it down.
Yeah. Okay. So, not the best film of the year.
Again, weird, but go on.
Probably the best cinematic experience for me in the last 10 years.
Yes.
Sinners.
You really did love that music.
I just loved the film from start to finish. Now, it has some narrative issues. It certainly has the same sort of, even though it's not the same film type, everybody keeps throwing it in the same basket as From Dusk Till Dawn. The only reason I would throw it in there is the pacing thing. Yeah. It just goes from
Although in that first half, it does have more links to the horror that's coming.
Yes, it does. You sort of see, like, Jack, what's his name? Your mate?
O'Connell.
Yeah, him in the
I wish he
in the
was my
precursors
mate.
to that.
Jack, if you're watching, if you want to be friends,
We'll have to get him on
it'd
here.
be nice.
But then he doesn't do much interviews. He said he don't care for it.
That's how he's just a quiet man.
But that film I've probably seen 4 times this year, and I will get, if I don't think it's out yet, but I want like a HD 4K version of. I can't remember the last time I went to the cinema and felt like I'd been to a show. Yeah. I felt like I'd been to an event, not a film. I felt like I'd been to see a concert, a film, a show, all in one. And that's why, for me, I would have probably put, if we're talking about just the traditional factors of film, narrative, performances, then One Battle takes it. But as an experience, I would gladly go again now and go and pay 10 quid to go and watch at the cinema any time. Yeah. And if it comes back on the cinema, I'll go back and watch it. Yeah. It was just an experience. I found myself in portions just being like, this is great. Wow, this is great. This is great. Like, this is great. Wow, this is great. All the time. And there wasn't really any lulls in it. I was always invested in it. The ending, I agree with you on there. I didn't grasp how emotional the ending was first pass. Second pass, I thought that was really nice, and I also think that it suffered a little bit from when I was talking about like actors suffering from their own success. I think Michael B. Jordan is not really, even though he's done a couple of films. I think he played a lawyer in one film. I can't remember the name of the film.
He was up for a Golden Globe for it.
Was he really?
The lead actor.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just feel because he's played it's like suffering from the Tom Cruise thing, really. Like early doors, when he did Top Gun and stuff like that, he was like a pretty boy, non-serious actor that even when he was doing Few Good Men and didn't even get an Oscar nod. Or did he? I don't know. But I don't know if he got a nod or whatever. But I felt like Michael B. Jordan suffered a little bit from that. But he is starting to flex his muscles a little bit. It was a Hollywood.
Did you ever see him in Fruitvale Station?
No, that
That's
was his first one.
Yeah, he was in Friday Night Lights TV show, which is great if you've never seen it. And then he was in that, and that was kind of a serious role. And then it was the Creed stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think that most actors have to have that. Like, and not most actors, but I think like look at people like Philip Seymour Hoffman. Probably is in my top 3 actors of all time. It's definitely top 5. He was able to switch it up and go into a Mission Impossible, and then go into a Dead Poets Society. He's brilliant in
Boogie Nights.
Scent of a Woman, Boogie Nights, anything like that. Yeah. But he was able to just take the material and not take. He knew the job was not a serious job, so he just did like a blockbuster version of things. And I feel like Michael B. Jordan's going to start going into that. Yeah. I hope he's not going to do what a lot of people do, that once they start getting award acclaim, they just go chasing awards, and then everything's just like serious and everything's like that. You know what I mean? And they forget to have fun with stuff.
Swapping it up.
So I hope he goes down that route. I mean, we can talk about the tech. I mean, we've seen CG and we've seen people doing dual roles before and split screen and stuff like that, but I've never seen the way they've done that done to a T, because it was a secondary actor with a face on it for a lot of the scenes, but it was seamless. Yeah. That alone needs a bit of credit as well. Yeah. But as an experience, I'm not even talking about 2025. For the past decade, I have not had a cinema experience like that.
Superb.
Okay, that's my top 10.
And my number 1 is, as you will have guessed, One Battle After Another. Okay. For all the reasons you gave, it is exquisite. It looks beautiful. It's old school cinema. One key aspect that you didn't mention, which for me really does elevate it, is Sean Penn, and Sean Penn being in it, and Sean Penn's character, and the Sean Penn and what he plays. Benicio's in there again, so Benicio's features twice on my list because he's in the Fenosian scheme.
I'll be amazed if Sean Penn doesn't win supporting actor.
Yeah. But no, I absolutely loved it, and I've only seen it the once. Still only seen it the once. I'm not sure, it might be available to buy now, but that'll be another classic. I think it's on a streamer at least. That's one I'd buy. Classic.
Yeah, I am actually making. I think we mentioned this halfway through last year. I am making an effort to get more physical media. We just bought a big shelf to put stuff on. So I'm going to start getting films that I want, and I hope that directors and filmmakers, producers, production houses put the effort into behind the scenes and extras. And I think, sorry to go back to TV and Stranger Things, I think Stranger Things is now really making a case for DVDs and things and stuff like that to have additional stuff, because some of the Stranger Things behind the scenes stuff is some of the most watched stuff on YouTube. Yeah. And it's just the behind the scenes. And I think they just released a making of yesterday, and the numbers are just unreal. So it just shows that people still want to watch that stuff. Yeah. And if you don't buy it, you don't really own it. You can buy it on Prime, but you only own it for as long as they display it or whatever. Yeah. Whereas physical media, I mean, I think I saw a really cool interview with Edgar Wright where he was talking about it, and I totally agree with him that it's going back to, and also physical media offers uncompressed a DVD, a Blu-ray, uncompressed. So sometimes when it might not make a difference to somebody who's just not bothered about those things, but with the way a filmmaker and producer and everybody's intended it, the only way you're really going to see it properly is either on a cinema or on Blu-ray. You're never going to see it on a streamer. It doesn't matter how high quality you do it. There will always be compressed elements in the back. So in the shadows, you'll see little blocks and stuff like that. And it'll only be if you're a nerd, I guess your eyes are going to be drawn to it. But it's just like you're not getting that. So you're paying the same amount of money for lesser quality and even sound to some extent. It's still compressed.
Yeah.
You're not going to get it as good as you would do in a cinema and on the DVD, because everything on streaming by nature has to be compressed. So you are losing. It might be questionable or minimal, but if you're going to pay for it on Prime to own it for $9.99, you might as well pay an extra £5 to get it on.
To be honest.
Yeah, you might as well pay for it to have it on physical media. I think I'm going to go out and buy I've got a couple. I've got a Region 1, a multi-region player, but I think I'm going to upgrade and get one and just go back to that because I watch them on a PS5 quite a bit because that's got an HD, an Ultra HD thing, but it's still not as good as like a regular DVD player. But I'm urging everybody to this year do their best. I mean, if it's your thing, if it's not your thing, you just like convenience, fair enough. But physical media, and I'm not just saying that because you sell a lot of physical media.
Sales are up. I can tell you, I was on the radio on Thursday. They asked me to go on to talk about the rising cassette sales. I've been on the radio a number of times now, TV.
Sorry, I'll get your autograph later.
I'm opening a toilets later on in a supermarket.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Yeah. Talking about the rise in cassette sales. So we were talking about that, and I was saying as well, there's also a rise in Blu-ray and DVD sales, believe it or not.
I believe it.
But there is, and a lot of it is down to culture-changing programs like Stranger Things that take everybody back to a different time. The only one last thing I'll say about one battle after another is that films can be long. Yeah. I always criticise films for being too long. This is a film that's long.
I love a good 2 hour.
Absolutely fine, as long as it is.
Yeah, but if a film can be 3 hours, as long as it doesn't make you feel like you've wasted your time or you're watching, ever look at your watch. If you ever look at your watch during a film, it's failed at something. Not completely, but it's failed at some part of it. But yeah. So that's my top 10.
That's my top 10. That's our top 10.
Did you have any honourable mentions? Mine was
I do have a couple of honourable mentions.
Mine was
Superman didn't quite make it. Predator Badlands didn't quite make it. Nobody 2 nearly scraped in.
Oh yeah.
Because it was a good bit of fun.
For the same reason, Companion nearly made it for me.
Yes, Companion was another honourable mention. I really enjoyed that.
That was just another block.
But I haven't seen Bring It Back. Avatar. I haven't seen Avatar. I've kind of lost interest a little bit with Avatar World, but I will see it. Brutalist I didn't see.
Yeah, I did.
I can't remember what that says.
Yeah, I did see it.
And I didn't see The Long Walk.
No, that's
Stephen
something
King
I really
adaptation.
want to see actually, and I think that might have probably made both of ours, if by the sounds of it. Also, a film called Secret Agent. Everyone keeps going on about.
Well, shall I read the top, because this might help us. Shall I read we had some comments.
Go for it.
On Faceache. First from Millie.
Hi,
Millie.
Millie.
Talking about her favourite films of 2025. Now, you'll have to, and when I first read this, I worked this out straight away. FNAF2.
Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Could well be.
It is. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Could well be. In the 10th position, Black Phone 2. Not seen it, Millie?
No, but I have heard it's good.
Yeah? Black Phone 1 was good. The Long Walk, we've both said we didn't see.
Yeah.
Another one, in fact, Millie's basically seen everything that I've not seen. Strange Journey.
Have we watched any films this year?
I don't think we have. Strange Journey is into the number 6 spot. Spinal Tap 2.
I didn't think that was out yet.
Yeah, Spinal Tap 2 came out.
Okay. I think
but it did get quite poor reviews. But that's not to say, Millie, you're not right.
We have to mention Rob Reiner.
Yes.
And we'll do a proper on the next episode.
We will do. A Complete Unknown, number 5. Now, I think Complete Unknown was 2024. That's the Bob Dylan.
Okay. Was it 25? It could have been early 25.
It was 2024.
Okay. Yeah, but then a UK release? Because we
Let's say it could be
Okay.
2025. 28
I'm
years
picking up for you,
later.
Millie.
28 years later, in the number 4 position, The Monkey, which is the first thing I
You like
reviewed
that?
when we started. Nothing wrong with The Monkey.
I saw it. I was going to say I haven't seen it. I did see it. Yeah, it was okay. It was
Yeah,
good.
it's all right. Number 2, Frankenstein. Now that strictly in theory can't be allowed because it wasn't released at the cinema. It was just Netflix. The Guillermo del Toro.
Did you put?
I put cinema released.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine, Millie. It was a great film. It was a good film. And Millie's number 1, which I completely forgot about but thoroughly enjoyed, was Nosferatu.
I haven't seen Frankenstein or Nosferatu.
They're both good. Nosferatu is really good.
Okay.
Frankenstein was really good as well.
I started watching Nosferatu.
Thanks for those, Millie. Absolutely brilliant. And then we have another list from Tony. Tony's in no particular order, but I'm going to read them backwards as if they were in a particular order.
Go on, Tony.
Sorry, Tony. Number 10, Avatar: Fire and Ash. We've not seen it.
No.
But, I mean, it'll be brilliant, I'm sure.
What do we do again?
I'm always building up
What
the
we
energy.
doing here
to
again?
say-
Because like, we haven't seen any of
we
it.
had a bit of a sabbatical
Yes, we did.
in December
Yeah,
for
we
various
did.
reasons. Tony's number 9, but they're not in any real order. Pray to Badlands.
Yep.
Number 7, Dangerous Animals. Yeah. Did we see any films last year?
I'm
Of course
sounding like
did.
we didn't.
You like
Sorry.
this? Is number 6 is Bring Her Back.
Yep.
So that's made it onto. Oh no, that wasn't on Millie's list. Number. Oh no, he's done 11. He did tell me that actually. So let's say his number 6 again is Friendship, which I do want to see. That's Paul Rudd and another chap.
Okay.
Offbeat, a kind of real Painish type.
That's
thing.
gone well under my radar.
Offbeat comedy. Begonia, didn't see Begonia. That's the
Yeah. Do you know what stopped me from seeing that? It's Emma Stone and
Emma Stone.
Jesse Plemons, is it?
Yes, that's
So,
exactly right.
Unbelievable actors. What's stopped me is this year I've felt like I've not wanted to watch too many heavy films, and that's really ridiculous to me. But what I mean is, like, I've quite often seen that, but not been in the mood.
Yeah.
And I keep
And we can only see
road.
so many things. I mean, we do.
Yeah, but
other
that is
things. It's
something
not
that I
like
think
this
I would
is our-
enjoy.
our
I just
sole-
I just find
Yeah.
that every time I've sat down to sort of like pick
But
something.
it does look brilliant.
Yeah.
It does look brilliant.
So
His number 5 is Ballad of Wallace Island,
nice.
right up there with yours. His number 4, and I don't know if these are in order or not, but number 4 is One Battle After Another. Number 3, he's got Superman in there again, where that features on his actual rundown list.
Okay,
and
I'll
then
forgive
his
him to that.
his second, his top 2, or the other 2 left on the list, Sinners and Weapons. So right up there.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Tony. Top stuff.
So it looks like when it comes to the crunch, we've kind of watched
Yeah.
stuff, but like
But
there are
there's-
quite a few films on there we
certainly
really
are.
have got no
there's
excuse.
there's at least 5 on those 2 lists that we
that we
haven't seen.
haven't even. One of them I didn't even
But
know.
then maybe people haven't seen some of the ones we've talked about. We can't see every single thing.
No, of course not.
Um,
Well, I enjoyed that, mate.
That was good.
First
that
one of
was good.
2026.
Yes, and we'll be back probably sooner than
Well,
usual.
we've got a
We're
retro
gonna-
review
Yeah,
in the
we've got a
canon
retro
to fire
review,
out.
a Top
Which,
Gun
which
retro review.
order is it going?
Well, we'll probably get straight onto probably episode. It will be episode 9. Will be the next one. Be the Bone Temple, I guess, will be in there.
Yeah.
28 years later.
Well,
the
we've
Bone
got
Temple.
there's a few to go over. Like my daughter actually wants to come on for 5 minutes and talk about Wicked as well. So I told her that last year.
I've
Put
never
it in the
seen
comments
Wicked.
if
I've
you-
never seen Wicked. I could watch Wicked if we could do a short semi-retro review.
Yeah,
of
Wicked. The
because it
first
is-
Wicked is a really good spectacle. Alice is not a fan, but my daughter absolutely adores it.
I don't know.
And yeah, Wicked for Good wasn't as good, ironically, but it was still good. Okay, so yeah, don't know why. I brought
Thank you,
that up.
folks. Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe, like,
God, like.
and to Facebook, Instagram, and most importantly, our YouTube channel. And then hopefully this year we're going to be back with some bangers. We're going to change up some of the formats. We might be hitting the road and catching you at some local events to try and give you
Following
stick a
you around.
microphone in your
Stalking
face.
you.
So yeah, look forward to that. And thanks again, guys. See you later.
See you later.